Today I'm going to show you how you can turn this into this. Hello, welcome to another episode of Southpaw Creative. I'm AJ, your host, and today we're going to take a look at how we can take our own art and make it into coloring book pages, just for our own amusement or for our friends and family, just to have fun, maybe step up the game a little bit, do something a little original for the coloring books these days. No offense to the coloring books. It's a very easy process. It's just basically tracing paper transfer method if you've been familiar with that before. If not, you're going to need some tracing paper, some paper that you want to transfer it on, and a print of your artwork, which I'll go into detail in a little bit. So get ready and we're going to have some fun. So I'm a dork and I started filming this and I started to trace, and then I realized that I didn't have my transfer paper underneath Bowie. So yeah, so we're going to start over. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a print of your art. I would not recommend using the original whatsoever. That would be, unless you're feeling courageous, but I really don't recommend using your own original artwork. This is just printed on inkjet paper, nothing fancy. So what you need to get is whatever you're going to be coloring it on, or if you're giving it to somebody, what they use. If they use colored pencils, I would recommend getting a colored pencil paper, like Strathmore 400 colored pencil paper. I personally, if I'm going to do coloring book pages, I usually tend to use gel pens and markers. So I am going to be using the Bienfang Graphics 360 translucent marker paper. Looks like this is way too big. And I am going to get a wide angle lens for the camera so that you can see more of what's going on, so we don't have awkward moments like that. So what you need to do is lay down whatever paper the image is going to be transferred on first. So this is my marker paper right here. On top of that, you're going to get some transfer paper, black transfer paper to be specific, because they do have white transfer paper. Now this is the Mona Lisa brand transfer paper, and I'll put the links in the description below for you to find them. So just get yourself a piece of that. Make sure, oh my gosh, I've done this so many times, make sure that you put down the solid side down, face down, because this is the actual transfer film. I have accidentally transferred things, or tried to, and I've had the transfer paper wrong set up. So okay, and then on top of the transfer paper, you're going to need your artwork. So we're just going to put beautiful Bowie here, and then finally get yourself some tracing paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm using the Bienfang Studio Series. This is old. I've had this forever, like since college, I think. A good 15 years. But you could get, tracing paper at the dollar store. It's no big deal. So, sorry for the noise. You lay this is your top layer. You lay that on top. So just to review, first layer is your transfer paper layer, the image, the paper that you want to have the image transferred on is the first layer. So this is the colored pencil or marker paper or drawing paper, whatever you want to use. That goes down first. Then your transfer paper is your second layer, so that the image can be transferred. Third layer is your artwork. That's the image you are tracing. And finally on top is your tracing paper. Now I'd recommend, you can use masking tape, but I would recommend getting artist grade tape, which you can find at your craft store. It's a little bit more expensive, but the reason why it is because it's replaceable and it's not going to tear up your paper if you need to check and make sure that there are parts that have not been transferred correctly. So just line that up. You don't have to use all four corners, but tape that real quick. And I wouldn't press down too hard just in case you do need to take a look and make sure that you're lining things up correctly. You could also use a light box if you have one, which does come in handy for situations like this. But I'm going to do this the old school way. Okay, and finally you're going to need a sketching pen. I'm using Kimberly's HB General Pencil Job. You could probably use a number 2 pencil though. I haven't ever tried it with that. Something HB or softer usually does the trick though. So let's go ahead and trace Bowie and we'll see what the image transfer comes up as. One note before you start to trace, I recommend don't worry about super big details at first. You just want to kind of go over the general shapes. So we're going to start with his eyes because I start with eyes all the time. Well, not all the time. I just wanted to apologize briefly for the background noise. I'm in the process of getting a proper microphone and all the proper equipment that I need for this channel. So like I said, it's really not that important to focus on all the little details until later on. You know, just get the basic shapes so that people know where to color in. And also, this is very important, you'll want to make sure not to leave too many lines open. Like, make sure that you have closed lines so that people can, or you yourself, can color in properly whenever everything is transferred. Now, something that I didn't do, but I do advocate, I didn't do it here, is to check throughout the process of tracing to make sure that your image is getting transferred pretty well, you know, just to make sure you are putting down enough pressure on the paper to be able to get the graphite transferred onto the bottom layer. I didn't do that here. I became a little overly confident, and as you'll see later on, it didn't get transferred quite as well as I'd hoped it to be, but I've done this so many times that I just decided to go ahead and trace it in anyways, or just emphasize it whenever we do the line art. And you know, you can use a Micron pen, or you can use markers, you can use whatever you want to use to create the line art later on, which we'll do. Okay, so as you can see, this image didn't transfer all the, like, as dark as I wanted it to, but it's okay because basically the next thing that you're going to do is take a pen like a Micron pen or a Prismacolor illustration pen and do some line art with it. I'm going to go ahead and do a time lapse with this to save some space and save some time. This is where the fun really begins, because it really starts to become like a coloring book page. And so as you'll see, I'm just going over this with a Micron pen, and I think it was a 0.03. And make sure, and you'll see me do this, make sure you erase your pencil lines later after you get done with this, because you don't want it to smudge. Or you can always take it into Photoshop and clean it up. So the line art actually turned out really well. I'm very, very satisfied with it. This is the first time I've done this sort of transfer method with the coloring books. I've done tracing and transfer before on my own personal artwork, but not like this before. So if you like this, you can download it and print it and color it yourself, give it to your friends, let me know what you think of it. I'll put the link in the description below. Please let me know what you would like to see on this channel. If you want to see more art tips or Q&A or tutorials, demos, speed painting, whatever you want to see, I'm going to give it to you because that's how I am. So please like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and share it with your friends. Have a great weekend, everybody. It's really hot in here right now. Jeez. Okay. Bye.